Go from one of the greatest horror novels of all time to one of the greatest comic books of all time. Yes, we're talking about Batman The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and art by Tim Sale. So, what is there to say about The Long Halloween that hasn't been said before? I'll start with a synopsis. Batman The Long Halloween is a 13-issue maxi series. In order to take down the Roman Falcone, Batman, Jim Gordon, Harvey Dent they team up. They're going to take out the Falcone crime family. But at the same time, a new serial killer known simply as Holiday is killing these criminals with a 22 caliber pistol on holidays. So technically, The Long Halloween isn't a Halloween story per se. Each issue deals with a different holiday of the month. So we have a Thanksgiving issue, a Christmas issue, a New Year's, so on and so forth for an entire year. And in that time, just about all of Batman's rogues gallery appears. So we have a couple issues with the Joker, we have the Riddler showing up, we have the Mad Hatter, we have Scarecrow, Poison Ivy. And all this time, Harvey Dent is desperately trying to take down the Falcone family until we get to the reveal of what Harvey Dent will become. So it's very clearly taking place early on in Batman's crusade against crime. There's no Robin. Catwoman's there, but he hasn't been doing this all that long. So this is one of those stories that wouldn't exist prior to Crisis on Infinite Earths, because it sort of kind of redoes the whole Two-Face origin, which, spoilers, but I think we all know that Harvey Dent is Two-Face. That's been established for a very long time and is common knowledge, especially with Batman people. I mean, hell, The Dark Knight, the Nolan film, borrows heavily from this story. And it should. It is probably one of the best Batman stories ever. And I genuinely mean that. This is one of those stories that, as a comic book review channel, which is what the Stupid Chainsaw Productions channel was before it reviewed novels, it was one of those daunting things of, what is there left to say about The Long Halloween? Everyone and their mother loves it, and I'm not going to take my contrarian stance with this. It's not warranted. It's really fantastic. The art's perfect. The Jeff Loeb just does an incredible job with the storytelling. Every issue feels important. There is no filler in this. I could go on and go issue to issue, but I won't, because it's a disservice to the few people who haven't read this. I would even recommend this to non-comic book people. This is one of those gateway comics. It's definitely a gateway Batman story. I would probably recommend this over most of the Batman stories out there. For the longest time, I always said, start with Batman Year One, and if you like that, then go into something like Long Halloween or Hush, that sort of deal. But honestly, if you just started with The Long Halloween, or hell, this is the only Batman comic you ever read, then you're okay. Like, it's that good. And of course, there are Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did other Batman comics like Dark Victory and Haunted Knight that I will talk about at some point, because I do have things to say about those. But I'm glad I just read this without bringing those into this. I didn't want to really just dedicate a good chunk of this Halloween season to The Long Halloween, which, I mean, the fact that issue 1 and like issue 13 bookend on Halloween's, I just that was the deciding factor on putting it in here. And it had been years since I read The Long Halloween, and I'd only ever read it once. And it was really nice. As someone who doesn't read a lot of Cape comics anymore, it was a nice welcome back sort of deal. Because I got real burnt out on the DC train after Rebirth happened. And I hadn't really read anything since then. And when we read Batman Forever for paper movies, there's actually a scene in that novelization that is eerily similar to the first issue of The Long Halloween. I was like, okay, I gotta reread The Long Halloween, and I'm glad I did. What would I rank this? I can't not give this 5 stars. 5 out of 5. It is what every Batman comic should aspire to be. So, anyway, have a nice day.